The Bells of Byzantium. Constantinople, May 1453, the fall of the Byzantine Empire. Perspective, a monk illuminating manuscripts inside Hagia Sophia as the city falls. The city of gold and dust. Once, they said the sun rose for Constantinople. Its domes caught fire in the morning light, its towers shimmered like shields, and the sea kissed its walls with salt and song. But by spring of 1453, the sun rose over shadows. The mighty city, called the Queen of Cities, was dying. And inside its most sacred heart, Hagia Sophia, a quiet monk named Father Leon prepared to finish his final illumination. Not a sermon. Not a history. But a single prayer in gold leaf, meant to outlive the fall. The quiet scribe. Father Leon was old. His hands shook, but his lines were still perfect, script flowing like silk, margins like the breath of saints. He had been born within the city's walls during the days of emperors. But now the emperors had dwindled to one. Constantine XI Palaiologos, the last Roman emperor, stood defiant against the might of Sultan Mehmed II. Outside the walls, 100,000 soldiers waited. Ottoman cannons thundered day and night. Inside, Leon dipped his brush in powdered lapis and painted halos. A city waiting. The people of Constantinople lived in prayer and in hunger. Shops were shuttered. Wells ran low. Horses and dogs disappeared from the streets. And still, each night, the bells of Hagia Sophia rang across the city. Calling for peace. Calling for courage. Leon no longer rang them himself. A young acolyte, Nicetas, climbed the long spiral stair each dusk and let the ropes swing. Nicetas had once dreamed of being a soldier. But now he feared even the wind. Father Leon told him, "It is not the sound of strength that saves a city. It is the silence that follows." The letter never sent. On the 22nd day of siege, Leon received a message from a Venetian ship moored at the Golden Horn. A fellow monk from Ravenna had written, "If the city falls, flee. Take the manuscripts. The world will weep without them." But Leon did not flee. He wrote back only, "Some pages are meant to burn. But one may yet survive." He gave the reply to a sailor boy and pressed a folded sheet of parchment into his hands. Then he returned to his chamber beneath the great dome. And began his final page. The last illumination. He worked in darkness but for a single lamp. The page was rich vellum, scraped thin as breath. On it, he painted an angel with no eyes, its wings closed, its hands outstretched, a single olive branch resting on its palm. Around the border, he inscribed words in Greek. "Though towers crumble, and stars fall, love shall not be erased." He sealed the paint with egg white and ashes from an incense burner. Then he folded it, wrapped it in waxed cloth, and slid it into a hollow carved beneath the altar stone. The night the stars died. On May 28th, the city grew quiet. The cannons paused. People gathered in Hagia Sophia by the thousands, rich and poor, soldiers and merchants, nuns and orphans. They came not to pray for survival, but to pray for peace in death. The emperor came in armor, tears on his face. He knelt beside peasants. And Father Leon stood before the altar, his hands trembling, a psalm rising in his throat. No words were spoken of surrender. Only forgiveness. Only remembrance. The morning of fire. May 29th. Before dawn, the final assault began. The walls cracked. The chain across the harbor broke. And the Ottomans poured into the Queen of Cities. They called out, Allahu Akbar, as they marched past mosaics of Christ. The city's final defenders fell. Father Leon stood within Hagia Sophia, holding Nicetas close. I will stay, he said. And Nicetas, voice breaking, replied, so will I. The doors burst open. Steel met marble. But the monk did not move. Nor did the prayer hidden beneath the altar. The silence that followed. Hours later, the bells of Hagia Sophia fell quiet. The great dome, once painted with stars, lay fractured. And yet, amid the rubble, some say they saw two figures, one in black robes, one in gray, kneeling side by side, heads bowed. The Sultan entered the cathedral. He ordered it preserved. Turned to the mihrab. And whispered something only the stones could hear. Centuries later. In the 20th century, during quiet renovations beneath the ancient altar, a cloth bundle was discovered. Inside, a page untouched by time. A blindfolded angel. An olive branch. And the phrase, though towers crumble, and stars fall, love shall not be erased. It now sits in a climate-controlled case within the Hagia Sophia Museum. People walk past it each day, unaware of the man who once painted by candlelight as the empire crumbled. But sometimes, at dusk, when the last light filters through the high windows, a faint gold shimmer appears. As if the angel still watches and remembers.